Hello, class. Happy Monday morning. Welcome to week 13 of COMM 450. This is Sister Higgins, and you are in your final week of classes. Next week will just be the final exam. And this is one of my favorite weeks of the semester. And I think that the way that Brother Bean designed this course was perfect in that this week we're going to be learning about the process of forgiveness and reconciliation. So the title of this week is Transcending Transgression. And you're going to be back in your interpersonal conflict books for this week. And as you start out this week, I strongly encourage you to take the time to listen to Brother Bean's podcast. As I listened to it, I was able to feel the Spirit. And really, when it comes to forgiveness, this can be a sensitive subject, even a painful subject for some of us, because of different experiences and trials that we've been through. And the thing that I love about this week is that we learn that forgiveness is a process, and it doesn't have to be instantaneous, and that you can take the time that you need to. And the whole process of forgiveness in and of itself is a beautiful thing that can bring you closer to our Savior and help each of us to be able to understand His atonement better. So I'm really excited about this week. So as we go in, it's important to understand that forgiveness and reconciliation are not the same thing. So I love this how it says forgiveness is the foundation for reconciliation. And I think that it's important for me, having a social work background and working in a family crimes unit at a police department. I interacted and assisted with families that had horrible things that some family members would do to others. And the process of forgiveness could be lifelong. And that it was important to understand that just because you forgive someone does not mean that you're instantly reconciling with them. Forgiveness is just the foundation to be able to work towards reconciliation. So you'll be learning this throughout this week. And I love this quote from President Hinckley: "Somehow forgiveness accomplishes miracles that can happen in no other way." And again, it is such an individual process. It is between you and the Savior, and that through His atoning sacrifice, He understands exactly how you're feeling, and He can help you heal in order to move forward with that process of forgiveness. Okay, so as we're talking about due dates for this week, you will have a capture due on Wednesday. And this will be your final one. And then that's going to go back to the normal capture outline format. No more guiding questions since you're not in the Getting to Yes book anymore. And then on Saturday, it's going to be the Heart of Texas assignment and then studying for the final. However, I have released the final now, so you can go ahead and take it if you feel comfortable with how you've been studying for the material. So I would just say make sure that you're getting your assignments from this week done and that you understand the material from this week before you jump into taking the final exam. Okay, so coming soon for next week, it's just the final. So there will not be a study guide this time because it's not going to cover so many weeks of material. And it's not, this final exam is one test, it's not three. And you'll be given 180 minutes or 3 hours to take the final, which it should give you plenty of time. And it is open book, it's open notes. So I would strongly encourage you to review your notes, your captures, and your guiding questions. And as I'm trying to grade your work as quickly as I can right now because I know a lot of you are wanting to know what your final grades are going to be. So I am going to try and get your final exams graded as quickly as I can as you complete them. So hopefully that will help you, especially those of you that will be graduating, to be able to know what your final grade is. So please just keep that in mind as you are deciding whether to take the final this week or next week, that you're able to choose what time you want to do that. But you will have 3 hours to be able to take the final exam. So I just wanted to end with this quote from President Faust. If we can find forgiveness in our hearts for those who have caused us hurt and injury, we will rise to a higher level of self-esteem and well-being. And I just love that we can end this semester on a spiritual note. So it's important for us just to know that we are not alone in the process of forgiveness and that our Savior is there with us. And this applies to all areas of conflict management and negotiation as well. That sometimes it can be difficult and it requires humility and for us to think outside the box. But if we can just picture the Savior by our side and think, what would the Savior do if he were here? Then we can find that strength and that guidance to help us in difficult situations. So please remember my office hours are on Wednesday from 8 to 9 p.m. This week, particularly, if you have questions about the material or the final, please feel free to log in on my Zoom account and we can go over any questions you have about the final exam. So best of luck and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.